Hello everyone, myself Dr. Jyotiri Gulwani and we are back on our subject financial management. Today we have to learn the topic scope of financial management. What is the meaning of scope? Scope, that means opportunity to deal with a subject, or you can say that how it can cover the different aspects. So here we have to discuss how financial management can be covered, or what are the opportunities under the subject of financial management. Under that there are 6 points. Number 1, financial planning, raising of funds, proper utilizations of fund, distributions of earning, establishing financial policies and financial control. Let us discuss in detail. Under that, number 1, financial planning. As we have discussed so many times that each and every business requires money. Without money, no business can run. Which kind of planning is required here under the scope of financial management? Firstly, let us take a brief idea about the financial planning. If you want to start a business, then for purchase of land, building, or to take anything on rent, you require money. As well as when you want to start your production, for purchase of raw material, then for payment of wages or for payment of any other expenses, there is a requirement of money. As you have started the business, then certain legal procedures will be there. Again, for that money is required, as well as whatever money will come into the firm, and as well as you will invest money into other sources. Again, it will require money. Then per day how much money will be required, per week how much money will be required, as well as per month, quarterly and yearly how much money will be required. Everything should be planned. That all things will come under the heading of what in detail. Under that, finance needed by business in initial stages when it is established and to keep it going on. Means when you start the business, again for purchase of your building assets, as well as purchase of raw material, then for initial expenses like you have to prepare certain boards, certain advertisement, everything requires money. That is covered under the initial stages. Then when it is established, as you have already started your business, take for example, and if it is established, then to expand your business there is a requirement of money, as well as to keep it going on continuously. If you have to deal with the business, then there is a requirement of money. Then everything should be planned first, how much it will be required at the initial stage, then if it is developed, then what amount will be required, as well as if continuously it is going on, then for rotation there is a requirement of money. Number 2, finance required for promotional expenses like purchase of assets and for preparing preliminary contracts and other legal documents. As already said, purchase of assets are required. If you are purchasing building, land, then initially, suppose take for example, if you have purchased one machine, then suppose if your business is going on continuously, then there will be requirement of another assets, machinery also. Then company has to purchase another assets. In the same way, preparing for preliminary contracts, as you will deal into the market, contract should be done by the creditors and debtors. So for that there is a requirement of money. So everything should be planned, how much amount will be required for this kind of contracts. Legal documents, certain legal procedures are to be followed. If you are purchasing any assets, or if you are opening any company, you have to take certain legal permissions from Nagarpalika, from government, from municipality corporation for producing certain things and for certain certification. Each and everything requires money, so finance is required here everywhere. So before starting of the business or before initiating in any of this thing, plan should be made first. Now as company is investing, suppose into different proposals of other company, then evaluation of various proposal has to be made for inflow, outflow, return on capital employed, etc. What is this actually? Capital inflow and outflow. Outflow, that is what company wants to invest. Suppose if company is having surplus of the amount, surplus, that means company is having more amount which is not utilized by the company, it is unnecessarily kept with the company. So if company want to invest this amount in another company, take for example, if a company is having rupees 5 lakh with them which is not used anywhere, so what a company has to do? They have to check where they can invest. For that, they have to check outflow is to be spent by the company. Then return on capital employed, that is how much they will get from the investment amount. Inflow means it includes your investment amount plus the return which company is going to earn. So everything should be planned first before investing money into any other sources. And cash budget for the financial year for inflow and outflow is to be prepared at different time. As I said, each and every activity requires money. Daily how much amount will be required, weekly how much amount will be required, quarterly, yearly. At each and every stage, planning should be made first before doing any kind of investment. So here in scope of financial management, before starting any work, planning should be done first by the manager or by the heads of the particular department. Let us go to the next point, that is raising of the finance. Now plan is already done, where to invest, how much to invest, and how much company will earn. Then number 2 is how you can raise the finance from the market. Under that, number 1, how the estimated amount of finance is to be raised, means how you have to raise. How that means you want to take loan from the bank, or you want to take loan from the any other personal person, or you want to raise the money from shares, debentures or bonds. This is how amount can be raised. Must be raised from the most dependable and economic sources. It is not so that directly you raise the money from anywhere as you want. It will create certain problems. So there are certain reliable sources from where you can raise the money. As I said, you can raise from the banks in the form of loan, as well as a manager you can raise the money from shares, debentures and bond. So directly do not raise money from anywhere from private institutes, because it will create burden of interest on the company. So care should be taken by the manager while they are raising the funds. Short-term and long-term requirements of finance both should not be raised from the same source. That is, if there is a requirement of long-term money and if a manager is going from the shares, debentures and bond, then they should take care that short-term money also do not raise from the bank. From the shares, debentures and bond. It should be raised from the bank. Why? If you are raising money only from the same sources, then there will be a shortage of source in the later on cases. So it is advisable to take money from the different sources and not to be opted from the single option only. As it will be scattered, company will be having more profit. So advisable not to take money from the single source only. Then comparative study should be made to raise the fund. Suppose again, if company want to raise, suppose money of rupees 10 lakh, then directly do not raise money from bank or from shares and debentures. Firstly, make the comparative study that where company has to pay lesser rate of interest. Where company is having lesser rate of interest, they should opt for that option only. If, take for example, company is raising money from the bank, there is an interest rate of 9%, and if company is raising money from shares, debentures and bonds, and if there is an interest rate of 7%, then it is advisable for the firm to go with the shares and debentures. Why? Because there is a lesser interest rate. So before raising money, it is advisable for the firm to raise money from the sources where they have to pay lesser rate of interest. Excess raising of fund will lead to unnecessary burden of interest and dividend. If companies are raising fund more than requirement, then it will give burden of interest and dividend. So as the manager, they have to take proper steps while they are raising the fund. That is, directly they don't have to raise the money from wherever they are generating more money. Keep it in a minimum, or you can say that in a average balance, so that company can avoid the risk of high dividend and interest. Let us take again a brief overview of point number 1 and point number 2. Later other points will be explained in the next video. So let us take a look. In financial planning, company or a manager has to plan for initial stages. They have to plan for establishment and when company will continuously go on, as well as they have to plan for the promotional expenses also. In the same way, whenever they are investing into other sources, they have to take a look of inflow, outflow and capital employed, as well as cash whatever is required into different stages will be totally planned by the firm. In the next point number 2, how much amount is to be raised from the company? Then it should be raised from the dependable and economic sources. Both short term and long term amount cannot or should not be raised from the same sources, as well as before raising the fund, make a comparative study that which source will be beneficial, as well as a manager, company or a manager should not raise excess amount of money. So here we are concluding with our 2 points. Next points will be explained in the next video. Till then, stay tuned. Be safe at home. Goodbye.